What if the doctor treated your copy before touching you? That sounds cold. It also might be the safest idea in this whole story. Not a clone that replaces you. Not an AI fortune teller. A rehearsal room. First, show the risk to the copy. Then decide what to do to the real person. Now here is why I am not opening with science fiction. In April 2026, Johns Hopkins University Hub reported a small heart rhythm trial where doctors used patient-specific digital heart twins before ablation. The Associated Press covered the same idea in plain language. Doctors first tested the digital twin. That matters because it turns digital twins from a future buzzword into one emotional question. Would you want the risky idea tested on the copy first? Before medicine borrowed the word, industry made it useful. Siemens and NVIDIA show the less emotional version. Simulate a machine, a factory, or a device before changing the real thing. That matters because it explains the logic without pretending a body is simple. A digital twin is not a pretty picture. It is a loop. The real system sends measurements into a model. The model tests a possible change. Then reality checks where the model was wrong. Medicine wants that advantage, but biology is messier. A machine can be measured cleanly. A body adapts, ages, compensates, and surprises you. This is where the hype needs a referee. In April 2026, Nature Reviews Bioengineering published a review on digital twins and digital models of the human circulatory system. That source is important because it separates three things people mix together: a model, a shadow, and a true twin. A model can be frozen. A digital shadow can follow data. A twin should update and help test what-if choices. So when someone shows a beautiful medical animation, the question is not, does it look real? The question is reality pushing back on it? Now make the story smaller, because smaller is where it gets believable. In February 2026, the National Institutes of Health described work on a digital twin of eye cells for age-related macular degeneration research. That matters because the twin here is not a whole person. It is a research tool built from large, three-dimensional imaging data. What did it do? It gave scientists a way to study retinal pigment epithelial cell structure and ask better questions about disease patterns. Less dramatic than a full-body copy, but much closer to something science can actually test. Then the scale jumps again. In May 2026, Nature Biotechnology published work on digital twins of ex vivo human lungs. That source matters because it moves the idea from cells toward an organ-level system, built from multimodal data during lung perfusion. It did not prove that every person now has a perfect lung copy. It showed a more careful thing. Measurements, biology, and simulation can be connected into a testable organ model. That is the useful version of the future, not a magic body. A narrow copy, forced to answer to real data. Now slow down, because this is the part that decides whether the technology belongs in a clinic. In February 2026, NPJ Health Systems published a design perspective on digital twins in clinical patient care. Why is that important? Because it asks what a doctor would actually need under pressure. The paper argues that a patient care twin has to be modular, explainable, interpretable, evolving, and connected to workflow. What did that change in the story? It moves the goal away from a flashy dashboard and toward a tool that shows uncertainty, admits limits, and can be challenged by a human. Here is the uncomfortable part. The more useful the twin becomes, the more intimate the data becomes. In 2026, an AI and society review focused on the ethical, legal, and social issues around healthcare digital twins. That source matters because it names the price of the dream: consent, privacy, bias, accountability, explainability, and ownership. What did it do for this story? It reminds us that a health twin is not just a file about your past. It can become an experiment machine about your possible future. So who controls it? Before we get to the verdict, use the normal viewer test. You should not need a PhD to ask the right questions. What data went in? Who published the evidence? What year was it tested? What exactly did the twin do? Does it show uncertainty? What decision is it allowed to support? And who is responsible if the answer looks persuasive but is wrong? This is why references matter in the video. They are not decoration. They are the trail of proof that tells you when the story is evidence and when it is only imagination. Here is the prediction I actually believe. The winning digital twins will not be the ones that promise the most. They will be the ones with the smallest honest boundary. A twin for this rhythm procedure, a twin for this lung study, a twin for this device plan, a twin for this hospital workflow. Each one has to earn trust before the next layer gets built. That means the future is not one giant copy of you arriving all at once. It is a stack of smaller copies, each one fighting for the right to be believed. So here is the final line. Digital twins are not magic bodies. They are rehearsal systems. Used carefully, they could help doctors, researchers, and hospitals test choices before real people pay the full price of a bad guess. Used carelessly, they could turn incomplete data into confident-looking mistakes. That is why the first question should not be, does the copy look real? Ask who built it when it was tested, why the source matters, and what the copy actually did. The copy only deserves trust when proof keeps it humble.